Texas. I'm Amy Kushner.
And I'm Garth Blackburn.
Holidays are up on us, and we are beginning to cook some really great ideas. And something in mind that you had, what was your theme for today? I forget already.
Italiano.
Italiano, that's right. How could I forget?
Tex-Italiano.
Yeah, so what are we going to do?
We're going to do a meat sauce, but we're going to use pork instead of beef from Shady Grove Ranch. We got to go visit that farm. That'll be on one of our future shows. Pretty fun experience there.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead and get started with that. It's going to become a baked pasta dish, and then we're going to do a Caesar salad to go with it.
Oh, fantastic. We've got a lot of cooking to do.
We do.
Well, let's dive in.
Okay, so we've got the pan here, the Le Creuset that we're heating up.
Yes.
I am going to cook the pork in pork fat, because you can't beat pork fat.
Really cool.
It is. And so I'm going to turn the heat up to medium-high, just get a quick sear. If you'll start putting the ground pork in.
And how much? Is this about a pound?
It is a pound.
Okay.
Okay, and I heated up the pan initially. That's going to make sure that the pork doesn't stick. So you want the pan to get hot, and then you want the fat to get hot, and that's going to make sure it doesn't stick at all.
Right.
All right, here.
Perfect. Yeah, give me something else, because this spoon's not cutting it. All right, now we're cooking.
Okay, so to go with that, we got some aromatics, and I don't want to crowd the pan. If I'm going to make enough servings for, I don't know, 6 or more people, I'll want to do the aromatics in a separate batch. So I could do the pork first, pull that out after I get some browning, and then put in my onions and my garlic.
Could you explain what aromatics are? I'm glad you said that one more time. Aromatics.
Here in the culinary world, that would be onions and garlic, both fresh, so some sweet yellow onions, some fresh garlic that I minced up. And I actually had a debate about this earlier today. I definitely prefer freshly chopped garlic, even over the garlic press.
I do too. Even over the frozen garlic cubes you can buy. Have you ever seen those? The frozen garlic cubes are, it's the best invention you'll ever know. However, the fresh is always the best.
Is that an invention?
Yes, it was an invention that came along in my lifetime.
I've never
We should mark that down.
There was plenty of time covered
Then there was sliced bread. Anyway, keep going.
That was just after the wheel. So anyhow, the fresh garlic, instead of using the garlic press, if you think about it, when you put garlic into a garlic press, you see all the liquid that comes out.
The juice, yeah.
In some ways, that's not terrible, but I'd rather keep it into the garlic. I'm going to get more flavor that way.
Yes.
And I'm also going to be less likely to have it burn, because as you press that juice out and it gets into the hot pan, you're going to see little parts burning, other parts not getting cooked. Instead, this is going to be much more consistent. And now I do take a shortcut. I buy the already peeled garlic in the produce section, because it's going to taste the same as the stuff you're having to peel the outside on.
I still feel like the peeling is it's going to have the whole process. That's my personal
This is coming from the woman who was using frozen garlic, so we'll just keep that in mind. So we're going to saute that.
Tip for the day. You're welcome.
That is yours. And we're starting to get
great. Yeah, it's browning up really nice.
A little bit of caramelization. And here shortly, we're going to talk about our farm visit to Amelia's farm. But we did learn something really interesting there, and that is that I got this beautiful, delicious tomato. This one was from last week, and I talked to Ben and Amelia about proper storage. So I don't know if y'all know this. Do you remember what he said about how to keep it either ripen faster or slow down?
Down or up, but I forget which way does what.
Let's let that up out a whole lot. If you want your tomato to not ripen as quickly, put it upside down, stem side down. And if you want it to ripen a little bit faster, then just store it with the stem side up. So we learn something new every day.
And never put them in the fridge.
I
don't know if you knew that or not.
They would cringe. They're in the audience right now. I think they would die if they found out their stuff was going into a refrigerator. Okay, so in terms of what's going on right now, I'm turning the heat down a little bit.
Because it's getting hot over here with all this.
It is. And I don't need a lot of heat, because the Le Creuset Dutch oven that we're cooking in does a great job of maintaining that.
It does.
And I think Kelly with Le Creuset has a little something to say about that.
Yeah, hey guys. By the way, it smells delicious. So the way that our cast iron is made, there's an 8-step process. So it's very specific in terms of where the weight goes in the pan, which makes it very even. It's really a superior heat distribution and conduction with our cookware. It gives you amazing results every time.
Yeah, I don't see that browning all around the edge of the pot of the pan where stuff's starting to burn on the outside, not getting cooked in the center. So
Yeah.
I love it. Love cooking on it.
Which I'm glad that you mentioned that, because with the sand enamel interior, it really allows you to easily monitor what you're cooking.
You say sand enamel, I say it cooks great. So
There you
thanks,
go.
Kelly.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to take another quick break and find out what Garth has been continuing to put in this pot. More great ingredients when we come back. Stay with us. What those extra ingredients were that Garth was putting in the pot while we were talking. What is that?
Put in a little bit of red wine.
All right.
Some beef stock reduction, like demi-glace, and a little bit of red pepper flake for heat. So just added that to our tomatoes and that pork, and it's going to now cook down.
And I saw you sneak some salt in there. Yep, I saw extra salt.
Extra salt,
All right,
always.
awesome. Okay, so speaking of ingredients, we just recently went to an incredible place called Amelia's Farm out near Sherman, Texas, where they grow their own tomatoes, and you're going to love this. Take a look.
All right, Amy, beautiful red tomatoes in the wintertime.
Really?
Sounds impossible,
Yeah.
but with hydroponics.
Hydro what?
Hydroponics?
Hydroponics.
Hooked on hydroponics works for me.
Let's check it out.
Okay, so hydroponics literally means water working. So it's growing without soil. So we avoid any type of soil-borne diseases. So as you can see in here, we have a tube that is giving it directly the water and nutrient that it needs. Basically like bottle feeding a baby, we're giving our plants exactly what they need. So it uses an organic material called perlite, which is volcanic kind of rock instead of soil.
Everybody thinks about tomatoes in the wintertime for hydroponics. What are y'all doing when the weather's warmer? What's the advantage of being in here as opposed to out in the soil and in the daylight?
Well, we don't have to worry about environmental things like rain, wind, animals, mosquitoes, any sort of insects. It's an enclosed structure, so we control the environment. So there's sensors that know when to turn on the air, know when to turn on the heat. So we have that controlled ability because people need food year-round, not just in the summertime. So we have that ability.
Why did you choose tomatoes over any other?
We were good friends with the folks at Albernays in Dallas, and we were chatting with them, kind of telling them, we're thinking about getting into this. And he said, if you can get a great tomato year-round, we'll buy it. It's a really hard thing to come by. And it's something that's on menus. It's a staple. I mean, your caprese salad, your sandwiches, you always need a good tomato. Right. So we said, let's do it.
If you walked into another stress-free growing hydroponic greenhouse, you would see something very similar to this.
And stress-free grow.
Stress-free because we clip them to vine twines, we support them. They don't have to work hard at all to grow.
So as opposed to just growing up their own,
growing up, finding their own way, they have to work hard to find their own way. It's almost like raising a little child. From seed to harvest, we take care of them until it's time to pull them out.
You got a ladybug. That's a sign of good luck.
Is it?
Yeah.
Blow on it, right? Or is that just eyelashes?
Whatever you want to do, just don't hurt my employee.
And you obviously enjoyed the tomatoes yourself.
I used to hate tomatoes, but this
Did you really?
was incredible, incredible. Yeah, Ben and Amelia do such a great job. The tomatoes, to get those beautiful tomatoes in the middle of winter.
I know.
Yeah, unbelievable. So that's cooking down now into the what's going to be our sauce for that baked pasta. Now we got to get rolling on the pasta.
Yes,
so if you'll
let's do
dump that pasta in, I'm going to do something first though. If you'll pull that lid off for me.
Uh-huh.
If you start to have some vegetables or maybe a little bit past their prime, they sat around a little bit too long, they didn't get used for your holiday meal.
Right.
I put them into the liquid. I leave them in big pieces so it's easy to remove them later, but that's actually going to infuse the water with that carrot and celery and whatever else, onion, garlic, you name it.
Yeah.
Put quite a bit of salt in, that's going to raise the boiling point, and now if you'll dump the pasta in.
Oh, well, that's an interesting little tidbit.
Okay.
Cool.
And so we'll let that cook. That's going to take about 5 to 6 minutes. You can put the lid on if you want to. Just leave it a little bit offset. If you have the lid on tight when you're cooking pasta water, it's much more likely to boil over because there's no escape for all the starches that are kind of binding together at the top of the water. One other little chef tip on that is if you see it start to boil over, blow on the surface, just like we've done with heavy cream before. That will cause it to go back down.
What about any olive oil inside the pasta? I do that so it doesn't get like stuck together.
Right, I'd rather stir it occasionally because that also prevents the sauce from sticking to that pasta. That's the reason I also don't rinse the pasta after it's cooked. We're gonna put it right in with this sauce, so it's gonna kind of glue it all together.
Okay,
Right,
yum.
so let's make some salad dressing now. If you'll do me a favor, squeeze that lemon juice into here.
You gonna leave that beautiful, delicious tomato sitting there on the side, lonely like that? Nope, he's not.
And then about a tablespoon of what's this here sauce?
What to serve?
Oh, Worcestershire.
What's your char? Yeah.
What's this here sauce is what I call it, just because it has a little bit of everything in it. Garlic clove. If you'll do me a favor and pull out 1 to 2 anchovies.
Oh.
Give you the hard task there.
Oh. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh,
Or you can put 5 of them in, and then you will taste the anchovies.
there we go. Good enough. Good enough. We're done.
And on the wooden cutting board too. About a tablespoon of
They were stuck
Fredericksburg
together.
Farms mustard.
Yes. Mustard.
Yes.
Sounds delicious.
You'll put some of that Texas balsamic in, about a tablespoon there. This is easy to remember. About a tablespoon of each of these ingredients,
Okay.
including the apple cider vinegar, the white wine vinegar,
Okay.
a little salt and freshly cracked pepper,
Beautiful.
and I'll put some Parmesan cheese in now.
Uh-huh.
And you're going to start pureeing.
Yes, and I remember now how to do this, I think. Hold, please. There we go. Okay, hold on.
Oh, I'm waiting. All right, now I
Okay.
believe it. Okay, to thicken it up,
Yeah?
start slowly drizzling in the olive oil
Uh-huh.
until you get the desired thickness, the creaminess that you want. See how it's starting to get really thick and creamy now?
That's a great tip, too. Slowly drizzle that olive oil. It makes a difference. Oh, this smells delicious.
All right, and that's perfect. So now we've got a salad dressing that really fresh ingredients ready to roll for our
Oh,
Caesar salad.
Perfect. Okay, we're gonna keep cooking. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, moving on to this delicious Italiano dishes.
Italiano.
Italiano.
Okay, so we're gonna make a little Parmesan crispy to go on top of the salad, almost be like a savory creme brulee. It's gonna cover the top of the entire bowl, and you'll kind of break your spoon right
Oh,
through it.
wow. How do you make
So we're
that?
gonna sprinkle this. Why don't you grab a big handful there. Make a little circle.
Okay, the
or
heat is
Make
intense.
something in the shape of a snowman or whatever you're doing.
Okay. That's interesting. Do you,
So put a little bit more on.
well, what if you don't have one of these big old griddles at
You don't
home?
have an awesome Wolf griddle at home
Mm-hmm.
yet, then y'all can use medium, high heat in either a cast iron pan or a non-stick skillet.
Is that enough? Is that
Uh-huh.
cheesy enough?
That's gonna be cheesy enough.
I
We're gonna leave
think I
that
want
for
some more.
about
You
2 to
need more.
3
Yours
minutes
is kinda
per
wimpy.
side.
There we
Yours
go.
is gonna fall in the bowl.
Okay, cool.
All right, why don't you open up that lid
Yeah.
quickly before it boils over.
Oh,
All right, and so scoop that pasta out. That was nothing about TV.
I don't want to grab a carrot either. You just want the pasta, correct?
I do, I
You
do.
put all those veggies in there. We're done.
That's good, yeah. So
Good.
drop that one in there.
Gosh, I hope that's not too done off that digging we had in there.
It is al dente, so why don't you take some of that goat cheese, crumble it up
Mm-hmm. Okay.
onto the pasta. I'm
Yum.
gonna take some fresh spinach from Damascus Farm that we got to go visit.
Oh my goodness, I can't get this out of the package.
I just put it in fresh, it'll wilt as we put it in the oven.
Just random, throw
Just
it in
start,
here?
Yeah, crumbling it in there.
Does it be little crumbles or big crumbles? Because I'm making a
Yes.
mess.
You are.
Wow, this is not attractive. I'm so sorry, people. But
A little bit of fresh
it's
basil.
gonna taste really
It
good.
is gonna taste good.
Oh my gosh, that basil smells amazing.
And so while you're crumbling that in,
Uh-huh.
I am going to
Yeah.
take a look at our little Parmesan crisp.
Yeah, how's that going? Ooh, how is that going? You're gonna make it work, Garth.
I will. It's
You're
gonna flatten back
resurrect
out.
those cheese crisps because, yeah.
That will happen. All right, so did you put the second thing in? No.
No. You didn't say anything about 2, you just said 1. Or did you?
I believe I said both, but that's okay.
I was thinking
know you're
about
not
those
counting.
veggies, those rotten veggies in that pasta. I was trying to get over that.
Does that not sound so appealing? Make you want to make this recipe at home tonight? I don't know. Yum.
People are hungry.
To use the word rotting, it doesn't go great with the food show. I'm just thinking.
Don't say moist. I learned that too.
Yeah, about turkey.
Are we done? Are we done?
I am. You still have a lot on your fingers.
Yeah. Okay,
All
there we
right,
go.
So we'll just pour the sauce right on top of that.
Really? Now that's the pork, the beautiful tomatoes, onion, garlic, crushed red pepper, salt, red wine.
the beef reduction,
Yeah.
red pepper flake. And so to this, you're gonna top it with some fresh mozzarella cheese. So grab some of that, start
More
pouring on the top.
cheese. Are you sure you're okay with this?
Never mind. This is
Just trying to
from
hide that. Mm.
Paula Lambert at the Mozzarella Company here in Dallas in Deep Ellum.
That looks so fresh too. Could you buy the packaged kind if you just weren't, might have been in a hurry? No.
What kind of, by package kind, you mean like the pre-shredded that doesn't expire until the
Just
year
trying to think ahead.
2017?
Yes.
Fresh would
also
definitely
will
be
rot
better.
in your fridge if you're not careful.
And then these are panko breadcrumbs.
Oh, wow.
That we just mix in with a little bit of Layla Farms butter.
Something just dawned on me. You're making a
That's
casserole.
scary. I am not making a casserole.
He's made a casserole. It's a miracle. Oh my
This
God.
is baked pasta. Payback.
I'm so proud. Look, it's a casserole. A Christmas miracle, y'all. Has
In
happened.
the oven at 400. I'm gonna get cleaned up.
We'll be right back.
We are in the kitchen where all of my culinary inspiration gets started, and that is the Sub-Zero and Wolf Prep Kitchen at the Sub-Zero and Wolf showroom. So we're gonna get started today with a delicious vegetable and spaghetti squash stir fry. This is the spaghetti squash from Damascus Farms, and I've got a little trick on how to cut it because it's a pretty hardy winter squash. It rolls around a lot, which can be very dangerous with a knife. So I'm gonna cut a flat spot. On the bottom, that's gonna keep it from rolling. Now when I go to cut it in half, it's not gonna move on me. So we'll scrape out the insides and roast that at 375 degrees for about an hour or until it starts to get tender. Okay, now we're making the stir fry sauce. This is gonna be that glaze. It's a little bit sweet, a little bit salty. Got about a half a cup of water, additional half cup of either tamari or soy sauce, couple tablespoons of seasoned rice vinegar, a little bit of Texas honey, about a tablespoon there. All right, a little bit of hoisin. This will add some depth of flavor since we're only gonna be quickly cooking this. A clove of garlic. And I don't wanna get out my box grater for the ginger, but I do want ginger flavor, so I'm just gonna break about an inch off. Smash that. All that juice that's getting released is gonna go right into the sauce. About 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. That's what's gonna thicken the sauce up. And put the lid on, hope it's on tight, and shake. Now we're gonna take these delicious Damascus vegetables, chop them up. This bok choy, Amy and I were eating right out of the earth. It was incredibly delicious, except for those outer pieces that still had a bit of dirt on them, so you wanna rinse these farm fresh vegetables really well. Okay, so now we're gonna take these little carrots, just grab a few of them. They're not as pretty as what you see in the grocery store, they're a lot more delicious. These are really tender. I don't even have to peel them. As long as you rinse them off really well, get the dirt off, they're gonna be perfect for our stir fry. Grab those runaways. Okay, now we're gonna make our stir fry. I'm gonna use a high heat or a high smoke point oil, such as grapeseed. Toss those fresh vegetables in. Got the pan heated to high right now. These vegetables are quick to cook. All I want is a little bit of sizzle, then we're gonna top it with the sauce. Okay, we've got this beautiful Damascus spaghetti squash. We're gonna shred it up right out of the oven. Okay, if you like spicy like I do, once we're shredding that spaghetti squash, we'll add a little bit of hot chili oil, spice it up, and now we'll plate it. Okay, let's top it with those stir-fried vegetables and our simple homemade sauce. Looking great. Little tip, leave those two little puppies in there. Those Thai chili peppers are really spicy. They added a mild heat to the stir-fry, but you don't want to eat them. Now we're gonna garnish it with a little bit of green onions, some fresh scallions, some black sesame seeds. These will add a little bit of crunch. Some toasted white sesame seeds. Those are gonna add a little nuttiness. and a pretty awesome looking stir fry that is vegetarian and also gluten-free. So y'all enjoy.
So you cleaned your base and you brought your herbs.
I'm still a little bit behind my ears, I think, but other than that, I think I'm ready to actually cook now.
Perfect, perfect. Let's plate this dish up.
Yeah, let's go with it.
How's that casserole coming? It's
Did you
all
make
done.
a casserole?
You made a casserole.
I
Remember
made
this beautiful
pasta
Le Creuset?
al forno.
Okay, pasta alla forno in a casserole dish by Le Creuset.
Le Creuset.
There you go.
Anyhow, so what you're going to do is you are going to cut off a little corner or middle section, whatever you'd like.
Okay.
I'm going to
Nice
get ready.
and toasty on the top, cheesy inside, meaty and tomato-y down in there.
That's a real word.
I like to make up words when I'm cooking. Tomato-y. Oh, and the pasta. Where's this going? Because I need a dish quickly. This is going to be hot.
Okay, don't make a mess.
Hold on one second.
Meanwhile, I'm taking the salad, mix it with that Caesar dressing,
Yes.
put that into our bowls.
Trying to keep this as neat as possible, but you know, it's not going to go like that, I don't think. Maybe, yes, I don't know. How's that?
I don't think you would make it in a restaurant, but that's edible.
I got to work on those culinary skills, right?
Right.
And the salad dressing you mixed with your romaine lettuce.
And I did a variety of greens, some hothouse grown greens as well.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's all going to come together. It's got a little bit more
Now
flavor.
let's talk about how you resurrected those real quick.
Resurrect. Actually, I
Yeah.
used the correct cheese this time, as opposed to somebody possibly setting me up for failure on the last one. I'm not really sure.
I see. Oh, neat. So you're going to cover the plate with that?
Right. So
Make
it's
it,
kind of like
pretty?
a creme brulee, but for the salad variety.
Wow. That's
Use some
kinda fancy.
of Amelia's tomatoes
Oh, pretty. Should I add some more dinner here?
and Ben's.
Yes.
And
Amelia's-
Maddie's.
And Maddie's. The whole family, right? And
Based on your little plate up there, I don't know
yeah,
if
and
I
I'm
can
not.
somehow
that wasn't
save that
very
with a
good.
bunch
Should I add
of
more? I'll add
fresh
more.
thyme there. How
Nope,
about that?
never mind. I won't add more. Lots
So
of
I had a
time.
ton of time from my garden. You need to harvest it. So I'll put that down. We've got the tomatoes on there. I think it's time for us to dig in. What do you
Beautiful,
think?
yes. This looks like a great meal for a weekend or having family over or friends.
Absolutely.
Such, right?
Absolutely.
Y'all be sure to download this recipe. It's on our website, and it's tastetexastv.com. And then we're also on social media, which is Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. You can find us there. We'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to share any ideas you might have for any upcoming shows in the future. Sounds good?
Or where not to put goat cheese.
Or where not to put goat cheese. It's great Italiano night. Thanks for joining us, y'all. See you next week.